Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Automation in Retail. Shiva here. In this video, we will see how to download and set up Android Studio application on the Mac machine. Fine, let's begin. Let me open the browser and here we need to type download Android Studio for Mac and we need to click on this first link. So which will take us to this page and the latest Android Studio version is Android Studio Ladybug. So which got released 10 days back, 10 to 12 days back, I think. Yeah. And if you want to download the previous version of this Android Studio Ladybug, right, you guys have to go to the archive section. So that is this. I'll post this link in the description section so that you guys can access this archive section. And here we need to scroll down and agree to the terms and condition. Let me do that. Yeah. So here, right, we can see the list of all the Android Studio versions, including the latest Ladybug. And previous to Ladybug, it was Android Studio Cola. And if you want to download this Android Studio version, right, you have to click on this drop down. And here there are two things actually. So if you guys are using Apple Silicon based Macs with M1, M2 or the latest M3 chip, right, you have to click on this link. So which will download the DMG, that is disk image file for you. And if you guys are using Intel based MacBook, you have to click on this. Okay. Now, I want to download this latest Android Studio Ladybug on my machine, and also I am using Apple M2 MacBook, so I have to download that arm.dmg file. And before downloading that, there are some other minimum requirements this Android Studio application requires. So let me go and show you those details as well. So that is present in this same page in this section, that is install Android Studio. Let me click on this. So here it is for Windows. Let me scroll down and go to Mac section. Yeah. So here the minimum system requirement when it comes to this OS, right? It requires minimum Mac OS 10.14, that is Mojave. The recommended one is the latest version of Mac OS. So I have MacBook with Sonoma 14.6.1. So I am good. And when it comes to the RAM, it requires 8 GB RAM minimum, and the recommended one is 16 GB RAM or more. Why? Because this Android Studio application and emulator, right? So these are the RAM consuming applications. So the moment you launch, right, it requires, I think, minimum GB that required for a single emulator is anywhere around 8 to 10 GB of RAM. But in the MacBook, right, yeah, I'm still using the 8 GB RAM MacBook, and it is working completely fine actually. So till now I have not faced any system getting hang or those kind of issues. So that's fine. If you guys are having MacBook with 8 GB RAM, that is completely fine. No need to. I mean, if you are willing to upgrade, that's completely fine. You can spend some more bucks and upgrade yourself to the 16 GB RAM. That is well and good. If not, that's fine. We can manage with 8 GB RAM. Okay. And when it comes to the CPU, so the minimum one is the Apple M1 chip or the second gen Intel Core or any newer with the support for hypervisor framework. And the recommended one is latest Apple Silicon chip. So the latest one as of now is M3 actually. Then when it comes to the disk space, 8 GB is minimum required, or the recommended one is SSD, that is a solid state drive with 16 GB or more. And when it comes to the screen resolution, this is the minimum, and the recommended one is this. Okay, so let me go back and try to download this latest version. So here we can download at two places. So one, I just have to scroll down here and I can directly download from here. Okay, or I can just scroll up and click on this link, which will ask me to agree to the terms and conditions. I have to click on this, enable this checkbox, and here, since I am using Apple M2 MacBook, right, I need to click on this Mac with Apple chip. Let me click on this and it will start downloading the file for me, and it is 1.2 GB file. Let me cancel this because I have downloaded this file already in my system. Let me go back to this Finder. So it will take some couple of minutes of time. Again, that is based on your internet speed. Okay, so once it is downloaded, we need to double click on this DMG file and we need to drag this Android Studio icon from here to applications folder. So this will start the installation for us, and it is copying. Now it is done. Now once it is done, you close this and type, not terminal, Android Studio here. So it is launching. it's verifying. So here I'm getting a pop-up saying it is an app downloaded from the internet. Are you sure you want to open it? Yes, I want to open it. Let me click on this. So the latest version is 2.2024.2.1. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Now what it is saying is that no Android SDK phone. Before continuing, you must download the necessary components or the selecting existing SDK. I don't have any SDK right now, so I have to download fresh. So let me click on next, and here what it is saying. So it will download the Android 14 for us, and the SDK, and the size of those two files is consolidated file size is 557 MB and have a disk space of 96.6 GB. And this is the location where it will download this file, actually download and install this file. So if you want to change, you can click on this icon and give your default location or the desired location, but it's better to keep it at the default installation location itself. Okay, and let me click on next, and here it is again saying what all other components it will install. So again, the important one is Android emulator, because we need to use this emulator for our mobile app automation. You can do it using your physical device. You can connect your physical device to your system and you can start automating, installing the testing application and start automating it. But if I would for my tutorial series, right, so I'll mostly be using Android emulator. Okay, so I need these tools, and it's better to install this also in your system, guys, so that will do no harm actually. And Android SDK build, Android SDK platform 34 sources, so let it install. Let me click on next, and here we need to agree to this terms and conditions and click on finish. So let me click on the show details. So what it is saying, so it is preparing the install sources for Android 34 and all. So this will take some couple of minutes, 1 to 2 minutes based on your internet speed again. So before that, let it install and download and install. I have one more information to share. So not here. Yeah. So virtualization, actually. See, there is one concept called enabling virtualization in the system. So why do we need to enable the virtualization? Because if you enable these rights, it will make sure that, virtualization will make sure that your Android emulator will run more smoothly and efficiently using your system's hardware, actually. Okay, so this is purely with respect to the performance of your emulators, because as I told you earlier, this is a RAM consuming application. So to perform it better, right, so we need some support or help. So that will be given by the virtualization. Okay. In the Windows machine, we have to enable the virtualization in the BIOS. Okay, but when it comes to the MacBook, right, I'll show you what it is. Now we need to click on, we need to type Android Studio virtualization here, and we need to click on this first link and scroll down here all the way till this configure VM acceleration on Mac OS. So here what it is saying is that on Mac OS, Android emulator uses the built-in hypervisor.framework, which requires Mac OS version 10.10 and higher. So if your MacBook is having a Mac OS greater than this, that means by default Android emulator will use the built-in hypervisor framework. If not, then only you guys have to go and enable it. I think in most of the MacBooks, I don't think we will be using any of these older macOS versions. So we will be using the latest one only, at least the one version below that. So this will use the built-in hypervisor framework. We don't have to go and enable like how we do in Windows. Okay, so there are steps involved that I'll explain in the next video when we try to download and install the Android Studio on the Windows machine. But for MacBook, it's not required, provided if you are having a MacBook with OS 10.10 and higher. Okay, now let me go back and check, is it completed? Yes. So this is completed, guys. Android SDK is up to date now. So let me click on finish. Now here, what we need to do is that we need to click on more actions and click on SDK manager. Now here it will show which all components are installed. Now Android 14 is installed. So if it is not showing for you guys, you have to enable this show package details section. Now here, whatever says installed, all these tools are installed, and the latest Android 15 OS is not installed. So that's fine. If required, we can download later also. That's no big issues. Now, yep, so all these are installed. The main important thing is here, the SDK tools. So make sure that you guys have it has installed Android emulator, so it should be installed, and Android SDK platform tools. Okay. And one more thing I would ask you guys to download the install is this one, Android SDK command line tools, because if you install this, right, we can access tools from this Android Studio like SDK manager, AVD manager, and we can use this to manage our SDK packages, to install it or update it, or we can create and manage our Android virtual devices, that is emulators, through the terminal. Okay, so we don't have to go to Android Studio application and do all those things. We can directly do all those operations from the terminal. So for that we need this. Fine. So this is installed, and also make sure Android SDK build tools 35. As of now, the latest version is 35. Make sure that is also installed. Then what else we need? Yeah, I think that's it. Those are the mandatory things we required. Now once it is selected, we need to click on OK, and it is saying estimated download size is 137.3 MB, and after that additionally it will occupy our SDK partition after installation will be 549 MB. That's fine. Let me click on OK, and this will start installing this. Again, it will take a couple of seconds based on your enter speed. Looks like it is nearing completion. I think it's less than 10 seconds. That's awesome. Good. So installation is also completed, guys. So let me click on finish. Now we have installed Android Studio application and also the required associated tools. Now the next step, what we need to do is we need to set the path variables, like how we have done when we have installed Java and Maven, right? We went to this bash profile. Again, if you guys are using a Mac OS before Catalina, you guys might have used bash profile to set those variables. And if you guys are using Mac OS with Catalina or later, you guys might have created .zhrc file and set the path variables, right? Similar way, we need to do it for Android Studio application as well. And these are the values we need to set there. So let us do that. Now let me minimize this and let me check the installation location of this Android Studio. And if you guys have not changed the path during the installation, right? So the default installation location would be, you have to go to this your name or the users folder, and we need to go to library. Library folder will be hidden actually. So in your users profile, to see the hidden folders, right, we need to press command shift dot, and yeah, here it is. So the library folder, let me open this, and here it says Android, right? So that means it has recently downloaded Android SDK. Yes, so it has downloaded all these tools for us in this path. We need to set the Android home path till SDK folder. So let me copy this. So again, what this home will do is that it will give me the path till here, my user profile, and from that path onwards I have to add all these values. Otherwise you guys can just directly go to this folder and open terminal, drag and drop this so that it will give you the path till that SDK folder, and copy this and paste it in. Let me open one more folder, or just directly go here and open the .zhrc file using text edit. And you guys, again, if you guys are using, as I told you, right, the Mac OS difference, you might need to open bash profile, or in the latest OS you have to open this .zhrc file profile, and we need to paste this. Okay, not this one. What did you? Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, first I need to copy this till here and go to zhrc file, paste it here, and the path of this SDK folder. Okay, here you can directly do like this, or you can just take help of this home variable and do this as well. So both works fine. Okay, so choice is up to you. Let me do one thing. Let me do like this and cancel this and save it. So the next thing what we need to do is we need to set the path till the platform tools and the command line tools as well. So why do we need to set the path till platform tools? Because we need to use ADB, that is Android Debug Bridge, which is required for debugging our Android applications and also managing emulators, and also like transferring files between our system to the Android devices and also executing some shell commands. So that we will see it in future in the upcoming tutorials when we start doing the automation. So there I'll explain in detail the about all these ADB commands and all. So that is present inside this platform tools. So let me show you that. So go back to library, Android, not accounts, Android, SDK and the platform tools. Yeah. So here ADB is there. So we need to set the path till platform tools. So that is done here. Now again, one more thing we need to set is that we have installed cmdline-tools, right? So we need to set the path till bin folder, because we need to use this SDK manager and AVD manager for our managing our SDK application, the packages, and also managing our Android virtual devices using the terminal. So for that, we need to add the path till bin folder. And after that, we need to append that to the existing path variable. So let me do one thing. Let me copy this as it is. I'll add this in the description section so that you guys can copy paste it as it is and paste it in your profiles. Okay, so make sure that you guys are not adding any extra spaces. And one more thing is that this inverted double quotes, so we have to make sure that it looks as it is without any changes, otherwise it will not work. Now we have set the path. Let me save this file and open the terminal, close this, zoom it, and source the existing .zrc file, .rc. Now let me try to access this ADB tool from the Android Studio. So let me see whether the path which we have set is working fine or not. Let me try that. Yep. So we can see that I am able to access the ADB tool from the platform tools, right? And it is running. So these are the things we can do. So this we will see it in the upcoming tutorials. And let me also try to get the Android home path. So let me see whether it depends that path or not. For that, we need to type echo $Android, because it's Android, right? Android _ home. Is it fetching the same value? Yes, it is. Users Shiv Prasad, library Android SDK, and this, as I told you, right, it will give the path till that user profile and library Android SDK. Yep. So we have successfully downloaded and installed the Android Studio application, and also we have set the paths so that we can use this application anywhere within this system. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. So hope you guys are also able to successfully install this Android Studio application and set the path. If not, do let me know in the comment section so that I can help you guys if you guys are facing any issues. Okay, in the next video we will see how to download and set up this application on the Windows machine. Okay, thanks for your time in watching this video, guys. Have a great day. See you in the next video. Bye.